I've taken the IELTS speaking exam multiple times, and I've discussed it with former IELTS examiners from their point of view. Today, I'll guide you through the crucial first minutes of the speaking test, helping you impress the examiner right from the start. It's Asia. Let's get started. Let's begin right from the very start. You'll be waiting in the corridor for the examiner to call you in. If you feel nervous before your exams, I always do. An exercise that helps me is to breathe deeply and slowly, imagining that you're feeling calm and confident, your best self. It's proven to work. The examiner may immediately smile at you to put you at ease, or show no emotions at all. In any case, try to communicate naturally and be friendly. Once they call you, you can say hi, hello, good morning, nice to meet you. Look at the examiner and smile. Once you're in the room, the examiner may engage in a brief chat, asking you how you are or how your journey was. Provide short, natural answers. Some examiners may chat with you for a few seconds, while others may begin the exam straight away. In any case, here is how you can determine exactly when the assessment begins. It's when the examiner switches on the recorder and says, "This exam is recorded." They will then provide their name, examiner number, the date of the exam, and your details. Part 1 of your exam has started. From this point on, you have between 4 and 5 minutes for the introduction and questions on 3 different topics. That's not much time, so make the most of it. Here are the first questions you'll be asked. What's your name? Provide your full name as it's written in your passport. State your given name or names first, followed by your surname. Julia Maria Fernandez, or it's Asia Miat. I'm Asia Miat is less common, as that's how we usually answer if the question is, who are you, not what's your name. At school, you probably learned my name is, which is more formal and is usually used in presentations to a group of people. What should I call you? You can repeat your name again. Please call me Asia. Provide a short form of your name. You can call me Alex. Or if you prefer, give a completely different name that you'd like the examiner to use. Just call me Bob. The next question is, can I see your passport, please? Don't just hand it in silence. Say, here it is. Next, where are you from? This question often leads to misunderstandings. You might have heard that you should provide detailed answers to all questions. As a result, some candidates take this opportunity to start describing their city or village, only to be interrupted by the examiner after a couple of sentences. That's because you haven't reached the questions that require longer answers yet. This is just the introductory part, so keep your answers brief. I'm from Bangkok. I've been living here all my life. That's sufficient. Notice that this short answer incorporates the present perfect continuous tense, which is quite a complex verb tense, and it's a perfect opportunity to use it. Here is another example. I'm originally from Brazil, but I've been living in Istanbul for a long time. However, you don't have to use the present perfect continuous. I'm from a small village called Kulan in the south of the country. This introductory part is designed to collect some information about you and usually lasts for about 30 seconds. Next, your examiner will say something like, now I'm gonna ask you some questions about your first topic. Just a few topics are used to start your part 1. Work or studies, hometown, home or family. You'll be asked several questions about one of them. If your topic is work or studies, then you'll be asked, do you work or study? Depending on your answer, the follow-up questions will be related to either work or studies. Here are a couple of possible answers. I graduated last summer and I just got a position in a graduate program at the central bank. That's something I could have said once upon a time. Or, I'm currently in the second year of my bachelor's degree studying economics at the University of Wales. As you can see, these answers are relatively short. If you start giving a lot of details, the examiner will most likely just interrupt you and move on to the next question. Why? There are two reasons. First, it's easy to learn the description of your work or hometown by heart. If any of your answers sounds rehearsed, the examiner will ask the next question. Second, time management. In the IELTS speaking test, the examiner must manage the time and ask you questions on 3 different topics. They can't allow you to talk for too long about a single question. Aim for about 20 to 30 seconds for each answer. Your responses to simpler questions can be shorter, while your answers to more complex questions can be longer. Let's discuss interruptions. Remember, if the examiner interrupts you, it won't affect your score. Most likely, your examiner will interrupt you at some point during the exam. They may do it in different ways. I've had examiners who were extra polite and subtly indicated that they wanted to say something, so I knew to wrap up my answer quickly. But I've also had an examiner who didn't hesitate to interrupt me in the middle of a word by asking the next question. It might feel unsettling, but rest assured that it doesn't impact your score. Just be aware that it may happen and don't let it upset or distract you. If the examiner interrupts you by asking the same question again, it's possible that your initial answer was slightly off topic or too lengthy. In such cases, try to provide a more direct response to the question. If your topic is hometown, the first question will be, do you live in a city or a village? Please note that this question is different from the where are you from question asked in the introduction. It invites you to provide a bit more information. How about this? I inhabit the bustling urban confines of Manila, which is categorized as a city of considerable magnitude and significance. I found it on the internet and it sounds weird. No one talks like this. Don't try to be original. Communicate naturally. I lived in a little village until I was 10, and then my family decided to move to a nearby city. My dad found a great job there, and the schools were also much better. This answer sounds so much more natural, and if you think there is no complex vocabulary or grammar, that's fine. If the question is simple, the answer is likely to be simple too. You may get more opportunities to shine with your follow-up questions. For example, why do many people leave their hometowns? Mostly because of work. Many young people see it as an opportunity to fly the nest and get new experiences, and this often means going away to university. In some regions, there aren't many career opportunities at all, and people have to go further afield to find decent jobs. In this answer, we see plenty of interesting collocations and idiomatic expressions, but it still sounds natural. Let's have a look at them. To fly the nest is to move away from parents' home. Career opportunities, that's a great collocation. Well, any opportunities that take you closer to your career goals. To go further afield is to go a great distance, far away from home. This answer is coming from our ebook with over 40 challenging IELTS speaking topics used in real exams. For each topic, you can find sample answers and topic-specific vocabulary. And if you have a bit of time before your exam, it's a great resource to practice and expand your vocabulary. There is a free preview too. I'll link both in the description. I've taken the IELTS exam a number of times, and I can tell you that each examiner is different. Some of them smile and appear very friendly. Others may seem a bit strict, moody, or bored. Students have shared with me stories about examiners who seem to be gazing out of the window while listening to their responses, or even inspecting their nails. I hope your examiner will be attentive and create a comfortable atmosphere for you. However, if that's not the case, remember that they are still fully capable of assessing your skills accurately. Focus on what you need to do and practice answering Part 1 questions with a timer. Answer between 10 and 12 questions on 3 topics and aim to talk for about 5 minutes. Practicing with the timer is equally important in Part 2, where the instructions state, talk between 1 and 2 minutes. In reality, you should try to speak until your time is up and the examiner stops you. I understand it's not easy, especially with certain topics. And I've discussed one technique to extend your answer to 2 minutes in this video here. Thank you so much for watching me today. Good luck with your preparation and your exam. Bye!